Hi everyone, I'm Theresa and welcome to Zen Rebel Yoga. Today we will begin with a gratitude flow because before we move forward, we take a moment to honor everything we already have. This practice will help us cultivate appreciation, presence, and a deep sense of abundance. We'll be doing some gentle stretches, some grounding postures, and some mindful movement. And we'll focus on building strength, releasing tension, and fostering a deep sense of gratitude. As Melody Beattie once said, gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So as we move through this practice, let's honor where we've been, embrace the present, and open ourselves to all the possibilities that lie ahead. No matter where you are in your journey, take this time to slow down, breathe deeply, and connect with a feeling of appreciation. So grab your mat and let's get started. And we're going to find a nice, comfortable seated position. Maybe resting our hands on our knees or perhaps in our lap, whatever feels comfortable for you. Maybe giving a nice shoulder roll. And we're going to take a few deep breaths in here. In through the nose, nice inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And let's maybe take a moment here and think of 3 things that we're grateful for. It could be the warmth of this glorious sunshine, maybe a conversation that you had with a loved one, or just simply the fact that you showed up for yourself today. Taking some few natural breaths here. And let's take some 3 deep inhales. Exhale through the nose. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. 1 more time. And exhale. And here we're going to gently blink our eyes open, and we're going to come to a tabletop position, making sure that our hips are over our knees, our shoulders are over our wrists. Give ourselves a little room here. And making sure your fingers are spread wide. And on your inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze, lift that tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, push that mat away. Inhale to expand. Exhale, round the spine. And we'll move like this for a few more breaths, connecting our breath with movement, warming up the spine. And on our next inhale, we'll come to a neutral position. And here we're going to tuck our toes, spreading out those fingers. We're going to push that mat away, lifting up our hips. Downward facing dog. And here we can paddle at our feet, stretching up the calves, stretching the hamstrings. Walk those dogs. And coming to stillness, Your feet may or may not reach the mat. If they don't, that's totally fine. Push that mat away. Come into a nice upside down V. Breathe here. Great. Full body stretch here. Stretch for the shoulders, stretch for the hamstrings, your calves, your back. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Drop that left knee, top of the left foot comes to the mat. Inhale, bringing your hands to your knees. And making sure you have a 90-degree angle between your knee and your ankle. Making sure that knees stacked on top, don't go over. And if you need a bit of a challenge here, inhale your arms up, sink into the pose. Great hip opener. Take 5 breaths here. 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath here. Exhale, bring the hands back to the mat. Tuck those back toes. Push that foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot comes up. Right knee comes down. Top of the right foot comes down to the mat. Happy and content with your hands on your knees, or for a bit of a challenge, inhale, your arms up. And breathe here, 5 breaths here. Two more breaths. One more breath. Bring that left foot, bring it on back. Downward facing dog one more time. And on your next inhale, step or jump those feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, slowly rise up to mountain pose. And we're going to do a bit of a standing flow here. Roll those shoulders back. Palms are facing outward. Your feet can either be together or hip width apart. Head up. Standing on this mountain. Grateful for everything that we have. And on your next inhale, you're going to scoop your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Grabbing onto your shins, your ankles, your toes, whatever you can reach. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step or jump your feet back. High plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down slowly. Untuck those back toes. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tuck your toes. Push back to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring your right foot forward. Plant that foot. Pivot that back foot to a 90-degree angle. Inhale your arms up to warrior two. And again, making sure that your knee is stacked over your ankle. And making sure that your shoulders, your arms are no higher than shoulder height. And breathe here. Nice, strong, grounding posture. Gazing over our fingertips. Take 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, you're going to bring your forearm to your thigh, bringing that back arm, scooping it up and over, making a long line of energy from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, making sure that shoulder's rolled back. Don't slouch over like this. Nice and straight, heart opening. Welcoming in that gratitude. Welcoming in this beautiful breeze. 5 breaths here. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And on your next inhale, bringing that back arm, sliding it down your back thigh, scooping your right arm up, palm facing backwards, peaceful warrior. And 5 breaths here, making sure that knee is stacked over the ankle. Cartwheel those hands. Push back to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring your left foot up in between your hands. Pivot that back foot to a 90-degree angle. Inhale, float those arms up. Warrior 2 on the left-hand side. Gazing over those fingertips. Gazing into the future of these wonderful possibilities. 5 breaths here. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bringing the forearm to the thigh. Right arm scoops up overhead. Extended side angle pose. Making sure that shoulder's rolled back. 5 breaths here. 2, 1. Inhale. Straightening. Leave a little bit of a bend in that front leg. But sliding your hand down the back of your thigh. Right arm reaches up, palm faces back. Peaceful warrior. Breath here. And cartwheel those hands. Frame that left foot. Push that left foot back. Back to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, bring those knees to the mat. Let those big toes touch. And bring your knees to the edges of your mat. Push the hips back to touch your heels, stretching your arms forward. Your head comes to the mat. If you can't reach all the way down, you could always use a block and put your head on a block. But if you can make it all the way down, make sure your forehead touches that mat. Breathing here. Nothing else to do, but just be. Grateful for this moment of rest and relaxation. When you're ready, let's come back to tabletop position. And we're going to swing our legs around. Coming to a seated position, legs extended forward. Giving ourselves a little shoulder roll, inhaling to lengthen the spine. Taking the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Exhale, twist. And you can leave your arm here if that feels comfortable for you. Or for a bit of a deeper twist, take the left elbow and hook it on the outside of that right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Taking a few breaths here. Twists are great poses for wringing out any tension. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Exhale, twist. And if you're able to, hook that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And smile. Smile for everything that you have to be grateful for. Exhale, release. We're going to come down to our backs. I'm going to do one more twist. And before we do that, we're going to bring our knees in, hugging our knees in, maybe giving ourselves a little back massage. Exhale, bring your feet to the mat, dropping those knees to the floor. And if you have to, bring the floor up to where you are. You can put that block right underneath your knees if your knees can't make it all the way to the floor. You don't want to put any undue strain on your lower back. Bring your arms out to a T. Knees are to the left, and your gaze is to the right. Gazing over those fingertips. If this is too much for your neck, you could certainly gaze up to the sky. Contemplate the future. And I'll pause here for a moment. Inhaling, bringing the knees back in one more time. Exhale, release your feet to the mat. You can switch that block over if you have a block. Bring those knees, drop them to the right. Hands out to a T, gazing over the left. Inhale, bring those knees back to center, removing any props that you might have used. And we'll come to our final resting pose, bringing the feet out to the edges of your mat, letting them flop open naturally to the sides. Resting your hands at your sides with palms facing up. Taking a deep breath through the nose. And sigh it out. Taking some natural breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. With every inhale, breathe in some peace, clarity. Exhale any leftover tension you may have. Soften your eyebrows, soften your jaw. Soften your shoulders, your belly. Every exhale, just melt into the mat. And remember that even in times of great challenges, gratitude is always available to you. Bring some movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Blink your eyes open. And coming over onto your side. And resting here for a moment. Inhaling, pushing yourself up. And coming back into a seated position. Bringing our hands to heart center or Anjali Mudra. Take a moment to honor your body, honor your breath, and the time you've dedicated to yourself today. May you carry this feeling of gratitude with you as you move through the rest of your day. And remember, gratitude opens the door to even more joy and abundance. And if this flow resonated with you, be sure to like and subscribe and join me for our next session where we'll focus on letting go, releasing the past to create space for what's ahead. See you on the mat. Namaste.